Here we go. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I am your host, the average LPVO hater that your mom said that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Guys, the purpose of today's video is going to be to tell you why exactly you should not buy an LPVO. Now, ground rules for this video. This is just my opinion. Don't get your panties in a bunch and get all upset and go to your favorite Reddit forum and complain about why some YouTuber told you that your LPVO sucks. That's okay. Your Strike Eagle is trash. I'm sorry. I'm just going to break the news to you. $350 is not enough for an LPVO. Okay, guys, now that we got over the ground rules, go ahead and leave a horse emoji, horse representing a Mustang, because guess what? I'm going to be driving away from the comment section because there's going to be some very, very upset, salty Rangers down there in the comment section below. Okay, one thing to pay the bills, guys. If you enjoy this content, consider going over and checking out the Patreon channel. It gets you access to a Discord server where you can stay up late and find buddies to train with and to game with. You can DM me directly and tell me why LPVOs actually work, and I'll actually reply to you because I don't have time to reply to everybody. So consider checking out the Patreon, guys. It's only $5 a month. It's less than a cup of coffee a month, and it keeps me motivated to continue filming videos during my 12 to 16-hour work days here, okay? So, the purpose of the video, we already covered it. Oh yeah, if you want to see the behind-the-scenes lifting and the behind-the-scenes content, consider checking out the Instagram. Everything will be linked down in the description below. Okay, the purpose. Purpose of an LPVO is typically people will say, I want to have the 1 power option, but I need to be able to see things at 6 power or three times magnification, or I need to be able to see things out to 8 times. I need to be able to have that precise point of aim, okay? Well, first and foremost, magnification does not make you a better shooter. It just helps you see better. Someone in the comments is going to be like, but if I can see better, I can shoot better. Incorrect. It's all about pre-shot, shot, and post-shot. That is how you shoot, okay? The pre-shot, everything that happens before the shot as the weapon is actually firing, everything that's happening during the shot, and post-shot, okay, or follow-through. That is actually what makes you a better shooter. So the purpose of an LPVO is going to be for to be able to actually identify positive identification of your target. It's not actually going to make you a better shooter. So no, putting an expensive piece of glass on your rifle, or for some of you Vortex Strike Eagle people, just a crappy piece of glass on your rifle, it doesn't make you a better shooter. Shots fired. Yeah, Strike Eagle is trash. Vortex does make a good product. We're going to talk about it in a second though. Okay, define. That is it's either first focal plane or second focal plane, a optic that sits on top of your weapon that just has bad 1 power and bad 6 power. We're going to talk about it in a second. Okay, so 1 to 6 and 1 to 8. So what this should say is bad one times magnification, and a 1 to 6 is really a 1 to 5 or a 1 to 4.5. If you have a 1 to 6 optic, unless it's one of the names down here, and even the names down here, sacrifice, if you have a 1 to 6 optic, you're really getting more of a 1 to 5. If you have a 1 to 8 optic, now you have too heavy of an optic on your rifle that you're going to be having to ruck with. Okay, so just know a 1 to 6 is really a 1 to 5, and a 1 to 8 is more of a 1 to 7. You really should bump that down to 1 to 6 is more of a 1.4, 1 to 4.5, and a 1 to 8 is more of really a 1 to 6.5. Okay, so just know that if you're going to ignore this advice and get into an LPVO, that's kind of the range. Okay, they're heavy. Now, guys, I lift 6 out of 7 days a week. Sometimes I break my own advice and I lift 7 out of 7 days a week. LPVOs are generally heavier, and they make the weapon. If you go and unload your rifle right now, if you feel the weight of the weapon as compared to an aim point red dot or an ACOG or an EOTech, the weapon itself is heavy. It's top heavy. It's cumbersome. Okay, it's not only heavier, but generally speaking, it's more cumbersome. It takes up more space, so getting in and out of vehicles and actually using the weapon, actually hiking with the weapon with that low power variable optic on top of it is going to be more challenging. Don't get down in the comments and tell me I just need to lift more, because I can pretty much guarantee you I lift more consistently and heavier rocks than most of the people commenting on the video. Leave a rock emoji if you've been in the gym and actually taking care of yourself in 2024. Okay, so generally speaking, an LPVO is going to be heavier. Focal point issues, it's just wild. For those of you that don't know, first and second focal point, okay? As you're magnifying up and magnifying down, either the reticle is either going to remain the same or change. It's going to be all kinds of craziness, okay? So just know you need to actually think about that, okay? Civilian needs. The reality is the vast majority of you only need a good aim point, okay? An aim point, a good comp M4, comp M5, an aim point T2 or an aim point T1, that will literally last you your entire life, and you can drop it every day and it's going to be bomb proof, okay? That is what civilians need. Now, if you're telling me I live in Wyoming or Montana and I'm up in the mountains, I need magnification. Well, a company called EOTech made this little thing called a magnifier. And someone's going to be like, yeah, but the eye relief on magnifiers are horrible. They're good. It's legitimately good. A magnifier is what I run. Typically, I'll either run an ACOG, okay, or I'll run a red dot with a magnifier, and it's legit, okay, neither EOTech or a magnifier. So for civilian purposes, 4 times magnification, 99.9% of the time is going to be all you need for defense and tactical, kind of a Minuteman mindset. That's all you're really going to need. Okay, you don't need an LPVO. Nobody needs an LPVO unless you're a designated marksman. We're going to get to that. Okay, so for you watching this video, what I recommend you buy, if you were to ask me right now, is just get an aim point. Get an aim point, Loctite it on if you need to. If you're worried about it, if it has one of the quick release mounts, you're going to be good to go. That thing's going to last. It's going to outlive both of us, okay? So just get an aim point. That's what I would recommend, either an aim point or an ACOG. And with the ACOG, you do not need an RMR on top or an RMR offset. You simply use the bend-in aiming method, okay? If you don't know what that is, look it up. So that's going to cover your civilian needs. Military use. We use aim point and ACOGs in the military. We don't like LPVOs in the military. Why, Trench? Why do you not like LPVOs? And we have the good ones. We don't like them because they're cumbersome, they're heavy, they don't hold zero as well. If I zero on 1 times magnification, a lot of times in 3, 4, and 5, and 6 times magnification, the zero will change. It's called a wandering zero. So the military doesn't use it because it's not perfect. Yes, our designated marksmen use it and our sniper sections use them, but they use the best ones the money can buy, and even those have issues sometimes. You and your $300 Strike Eagle is not cutting it. You and your Aero Precision or whatever it's called, primary arms, you and your primary arms, LPVO is not it. You got to take my word for it, guys. Okay, so the military, from my experience, 11 years of infantry, airborne infantry, okay, and mechanized infantry, we hate them. We don't like LPVOs, okay? We like red dots and ACOGs because they actually work. If you need to be able to see farther, get a good set of Vortex binos. If you're hunting, okay, if you're hunting and you need to be able to identify and glass stuff, use binos. Very few and far between people actually need an LPVO. Like I said, designated marksman and sniper. And if you say, I'm my group's designated marksman, well, you better have one of the names down here, and your optic better not start with an 800. It's not me saying, oh, if you're poor, you can't have an LPVO. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're poor, but you want to survive, you need to buy good quality. So buy once, cry once, right? We've all heard the saying. So run irons until you can get an aim point or get an EOTech. That's my recommendation. Or if you absolutely need to have an LPVO, run a good carry handle, okay? Or a good set of like Knight's Armament, backup iron sights or fixed iron sights or Daniel Defense iron sights until you can get something that will actually work. Okay, low powered variable optic, also known as looks pretty but very overrated. Okay, I'll say that again. LPVO looks pretty, very overrated. It's all the hype on the internet, okay? Everyone sees all these famous YouTubers, okay? They're out and they're shooting. Let me tell you something. Any KD or medium range marksmanship course in the Army, dudes are using ACOGs, 4 times ACOGs, or they're using a magnifier behind their, an EOTech magnifier behind their red dot, because you can reach out and what are you capable of actually hitting? Most people with 5.56 can't even hit out to 500 anyway, and it's embarrassing. So I'm just telling you, we like ACOG and we like red dots with magnifiers because they're easy and they're lightweight and they're small, okay? Just like a lot of people in this comment section that are going to be telling me why I'm not strong enough to carry an LPVO. Okay, go to the gym. All right, guys, last but not least, if say you've heard everything I just said and you're like, Trench, I still want to run an LPVO, okay, this is my recommendation. Lpvo, either Mark 4 or Mark 6, whatever type, whatever caliber you need, okay? But Lpvo makes a good one, pretty okay. Lpvo, it's $2,200, okay? So if you can't afford that, just get an aim point, dude. Get a $600, $700 old Comp M4 and call it a day, okay? Just get an aim point, and then get a magnifier, EOTech magnifier later on. Night Force Attacker, $2,800, okay? So Night Force makes a great optic as well, $2,800 for that one. And then Vortex Razor, we're talking $2,400. But if I was to bet my life on a LPVO, or also known as looks pretty overrated, if I had to bet my life on one of those, it'd be one of these names down here, guys. Okay, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the channel. I really appreciate having these discussions and this dialogue with you. Get down in the comments. I want to know what you're using on your actual go-to-war rifle. I want to actually hear what you guys are using. If you have a Strike Eagle, what I want you to do is sell it to some sucker and consider upgrading to an aim point, an EOTech, or an ACOG. Get something quality. That way you can be squared away and not out here looking like a one of these people, okay? It's not an attack at Vortex. They do make good quality stuff, but not their low end. Any low end LPVO, I'm going to start to question you. Anyway, guys, if you got this far, that means you're one of my true fans. Reminder to leave your Mustang emoji, your horse emoji down below, because I'm going to be running from the comments because they're going to be wild probably on this video. Consider becoming a member of the Patreon. It's less than a cup of coffee a month, and it keeps me motivated on days like today when I just got done with the gym and work to stand here in front of a whiteboard and talk to a camera. Thanks for being here, guys, and until next time, this is going to be Trench Grenade, your average LPVO hater that your mom said that we have at home, signing out. Cheers.